What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today we'll be cloning my Peruvian cactus. Alright, so what I'm about to show you is a pretty large Peruvian apple cactus. I got it, I think, on Etsy. Seriously, about this big. Really fragile state. When it was a little cooler out in the spring, I had put it in a pot, and as I'll show you in a minute, it's definitely getting big, and it kind of tapers its growth. It gets bigger at the top, but I'd like to go ahead and slash the top there and get that potted in either a bigger pot and have extra insurance, or put it straight into the ground. With winter coming up, I know it won't be crazy cold tolerant. Most of my cacti do okay with a little bit of dieback, but I would like A, insurance, and B, to have maybe one in a pot that I can put inside. I would like to have one that I can keep in a pot and over winter, and then have the other one either in the ground or in a substantially larger pot. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you guys what we're looking at. All right, so in the middle there, that's what we're looking at, the Peruvian apple cactus. But as you'll see, it starts off, I mean, it's definitely bigger than it was when I planted it, but it does kind of taper and it gets a little thicker as we move up, which is fine. I guess that's its growing habit. But I'm thinking of taking it down maybe about here. I'll probably get some offshoots from that, some budding, and I'll also have a thicker root system on this second one that I decide to plant elsewhere. I do have to be careful. As with most cacti, there are a number of thorns. They're all pretty obvious though, so at least they're not like prickly pear where they're like little hairs that'll get you. If you get got, you know you got. All right guys, so here's where we're at. I don't know if I should be getting a machete instead of this. I think I will. I think I'm gonna do a quick and swift cut to harvest this. All right, so as previously said, I should probably wear gloves with this, but I'm just gonna chance it. I got somewhat okay grip here, and I'm just gonna go for it. And I got stuck a little bit. It's a little tougher than I thought. So let's persevere. I think I'm gonna use the smaller knife and see if I can just kind of keep slicing in that same direction. Okie doke. Not as dramatic as I would have hoped for, but we do have a nice piece to work with here. So yeah, basically we're gonna let this dry out in the shade for about 3 days. It's gonna get a nice callus here. It'll get a nice callus here. Like I said, I did cut it at a slight angle for rain to drip off of, and it also provides a little more surface area for the roots here. But yeah, we'll probably get some buds developing. We don't have any offshoots on this yet, so I guess that'll be nice. But yeah, so as it goes, I'm gonna have this in the shade for 3 to 4 days until it gets a nice callus over it, and then we can finish up here and I'll show you guys the rest. All right guys, so we're here a few days later. It's so hot out that it's only been 2 days, but I do have some calcification, which I'll show you in a second, but I really don't want it drying out too much. But here, let me show you real quick. Yeah, as you can see, that's not like juicy or anything. It's pretty well dry. You could go a little longer than that, but I am seeing some spotting and stuff. It still looks pretty healthy, but I'm just gonna play it safe. All right, so from here, it's pretty straightforward. You can either get some palm mix or cactus mix. I just have some well-draining soil that has a little bit of sand in there, but we're just gonna dig down a little bit. But with a cactus, you really don't wanna like bury it to stabilize it. You wanna just kinda set it gently in the dirt. On standby, I have a couple of stakes I may just use this old stick, push that down next to it. I've got it kind of in the rivet there for some stabilization. And then you can just get some planter's tape and go ahead and tie that around. Actually, the fact that I have it in one of the rivets here, I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna take this stick out, and you can use any kind of stake for that. I'm gonna tie a knot around the stick first. Put that in. And now I'm gonna tie it around the cactus. Loop around 2 times. And yeah. Then I'm just gonna kind of lightly put the soil around it. So it's not really deeply submerged or anything, but it is making nice flush contact with the soil here. Make sure that's in nice and secure, and I'll give you guys a look at that real quick. We've got a stick in there with everything pretty well stabilized. So yeah, from here I'm gonna leave this in the shade for a bit and slowly move it out towards partial sun. Right now we're in August in Houston, Texas. The weather is nice and warm. Especially when we start seeing some growth on this, we can start moving it out into full sun. All right guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. The whole succulent propagation process is relatively simple with a pretty good success rate. So be sure to throw down some comments if you guys have any questions or if you'd like to add any additional information. Also consider subscribing, as I will do an update on this, as well as updates on my Peruvian cactus in general. Hopefully we get some fruit soon. All right guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.